robot we are going to be building is a simple robot which will simply open up the Notepad application and write some text into the Notepad. I'm going to write the description as Notepad operations. You can simply call that whatever you want, whatever is going to help you understand what this robot is about. Great, we can click the create button. So now if we go to our folder and we go to robots, you'll see there is now a folder there called My First Robot, and within it we have our main XAML file and we have our JSON file. Alright, make sure you don't delete this. This is a necessary file in order to run your robot. Great, so let's get into it. So here we have our Workspace. This is where you will be dropping in your activities. So whenever you start a robot, you usually want to put it into a container. So the most common use cases is either putting it into a sequence or a flowchart or a state machine. Sometimes even a try-catch is used. If you don't understand what any of those mean, don't worry, we'll get into it. Alright, so for the purpose of this one, I'm just going to use a sequence because it's the most simple. Alright, and I'm going to call this main. Alright, so this will be our main sequence and everything will happen within it. You'll see there it says drop activity here. So what we want to do is we want to open the Notepad application. So we can come to our search activities over here and we can type in open application. There you go, it's right here, it came up. So we can click on that. I'm holding in my left mouse button, dragging it here and placing it within this sequence. I'm letting go my left mouse button and there you go, we have our open application. So you'll see here there's an indicate window on screen button. So this is the button you click to select which application you want to open. So in order for this to work, we need to have Notepad open already. So I'm just going to open it up. There you go, here is our Notepad application. And I'm going to come back to UIPath Studio, click indicate window on screen. And as you can see, I can now select, I can either select this window at the back or I can select our Notepad. This is the one we want to select. I click that and there you go. You'll notice here it also added a screenshot. This is just a nice thing for the developers that UiPath has added. It adds a screenshot of all your activities so you know exactly what you are dealing with because it's a lot more visual and easier to understand what your workflows are doing. So now what we want to do is we want to add in some text into our Notepad. Alright, we want to write something here. Okay, in order to do this, we can use the type into activity. So we can type into here, we can search for it, there it is. So it is a keyboard element, type into, and we can click this and we can drag it into this do sequence. So just to clarify what is going on here, we have a main sequence which contains all the different activities. Within that we have our open application activity. Within this open application we want to do something within this application, and that is what this do sequence is doing over here. Alright, and the thing we want to do is we want to type into that activity. Alright, but you'll notice we have an error because it's saying the value for a required activity argument text was not supplied. Alright, so what we have to do is we need to indicate the element inside the windows. So I'll click that and here's our Notepad and we can click on this user interface element here. Alright, because before we clicked over here, which is highlighting the entire Notepad, because that was the application we wanted to open, but now we want to type into this section here. So that is why we're clicking that. Right, there you go. So you'll see it even added a screenshot of that white space. We can then type in the text. In order to write any strings or text within UiPath, you have to add inverted commas like that. Alright, so it's just double quotes, and in there I'm going to write I am a robot and click away. as you click away, you'll notice the exclamation marks go away. There's no longer any errors. Alright, so this robot should run smoothly now. I am just going to close this notepad and I'm going to come here and click run. So now we'll notice that it opens the Notepad application, and if you saw there, it typed in I am a robot. So if you followed along, you have finally completed your first robot. Just a quick tip on undoing your work. If you click Ctrl Z on the keyboard, it will undo an action. If you click Ctrl Y, it will redo. And if you delete an activity, such as type into, right, I'm clicking delete on my keyboard, and now let's say I want to undo this. If I click Ctrl Z on my keyboard, as I just did, you'll notice it never came back. So you might be thinking, oh no, does UiPath not support undoing deleting elements or undoing deleting activities? It actually does. It's just a little trick. You need to click somewhere within a sequence and then click Ctrl Z, and then it'll come back. Alright, so that's just a little trick you need to know when it comes to undoing deleting activities. Make sure you're clicked within one of the sequences.